So on the way home from last week's vlog, my last vlog, I've decided to stop off at a place where I've been before, at Lead Clough Mine Waterfalls. I noticed that the reservoirs, well, one of the reservoirs specifically, was very, very high. So I thought that might mean that the waterfall had a lot coming over it. I'd given myself 3 hours and I had a spare half an hour, 35 minutes maybe. So I just thought it might be worth coming along, as I wasn't that far away, having a little look at the waterfall that I didn't take a picture of last time, but Tim did. And maybe seeing if there's any heather here as well. There was this one standout tree that I saw last time. So if the waterfall is naff or I can't get down to it, or I don't feel like I can get down to it, I might have a look for this one specific tree. It was a birch tree and it just stood out. The white glow of it just stood out from the rest of the woodland. So let's go. Well, I've spotted some heather already, and I've spotted some beautiful trees which me and Tim sort of noticed last time. I'm not that far away from the waterfall, but there's probably a little bit more water here than last time I came. So I'm not that far from this first falls, which is the one I want to get a picture of, if I'm getting a picture of them. Some beautiful heather here. I didn't really get any intimate shots of the heather last week on my last vlog, so I might try and get a couple of nice, very, very purpley shots, nice close-ups. Let's see what this first waterfall's like. Right, I'm at this first waterfall, which you maybe see behind me. I'll get some footage of it for you. But I'm thinking that I'm probably not going to go down to it today. The thing with this waterfall is that you would have seen from Tim's pictures, it creates the sort of like little bays within where the waterfall drops, that if there's any foam, they sort of circle and swirl, and there's not a lot of that going on today. I don't know why. Might be the heat, because it's very, very hot. We're waiting for a thunderstorm, or it could be just, I don't know. I'm not clued up on these things. It's probably better, as it's quite a bit of a trek down to it. It's a bit sketchy to get down to it, to come with someone else and go down there just in case something happens. But it's lovely to sit here, stand here and watch it. Gorgeous. I just don't think I'm going to take the shot today. I think you need to know when to take the shot and when not to take the shot, and today is, for various reasons, one of those days not to take the shot. But this is going to be beautiful in autumn, when all this is sort of just autumny, orange, burnt oranges, bare trees. I'll be coming back then. So give it a few weeks and probably I'll have a shot of this on the vlog. Right, let's go and find that tree. I found another waterfall just before, further upstream to the one that I've just seen, and it's a little bit better, it's a little bit more accessible. I can get down to it easily. There's a little bit of purple heather around it, and I think it should make for quite a nice shot. So I'm going to get my gear out, take one shot of that, I think, and then head up to this tree. I was talking to my wife the other day about how the trees are already starting to turn. It's August the 22nd today, and this obviously won't be going out until the end of September or something. But already the trees are starting to turn orangey, they're falling out, there's leaves. If I could get some of these leaves in the shot, or maybe even focus on some of these fallen leaves, it would be lovely. Now let's get my gear out. So I'm just setting off another shot. I've just set off a 30-second exposure of this, and I think it's a little bit too bright. So I'm going to do about a 20. It's coming up to 20 now. I'm quite low. And it's a bit of a different shot for a waterfall for me. Normally I want to get this heather which is on top of it, and there's a little bit of interest in some rocks in the foreground. So I've just taken that shot, but these fallen orange leaves are really grabbing me, and there's none on this side. So I'm thinking, if I can, very carefully, I'm going to walk over onto that side and shoot a portrait with these leaves leading you into the waterfall, and really smooth out that waterfall as well. So I'm just going to get a couple more shots from here and then test the waters, make sure I don't slip or anything. When I've just put the camera down, it wasn't the shot I was talking about with the leaves, but I put the camera down, looked through the viewfinder on the screen, and it just looks nice. So I'm setting off a couple of exposures. They're all a bit long, and the thing I'm finding difficult is trying to make a bit of interest out the sky. I might just cut the sky out altogether because it's a bit naff today. I might just cut the sky out altogether because it's a bit naff today. It's just grey. There's no clouds, it's just grey and dull. But there's a really nice bend in this waterfall which brings you from the left, takes you back, and then as your eye follows it back, just above it there's a nice little patch, probably about 20-30 yards away, of some heather, and it's really nice. Hopefully it'll make for a really interesting shot, and then I can get this other shot that I wanted as well. I've just got my polarizer out as well, which I never really use, although I have been using it quite a bit more recently. And obviously that's another stop or two of light on top of the 10 stop. And I've just made it so the water is really dark. That's the idea, allowing the burnt orange leaves to pop in the foreground. The flow of the water to sort of pop in the middle ground, and then in the background there's some nice greenery with that purple sort of running through it. Really happy with that shot actually, and I think that's why I think a shot with the leaves leading up to the waterfall will work as well. So let's try and get that one, and then I'll show them both to you. Okay, I've spoken about woodland photography before, and it's something that I'm not very good at, but I would like to improve. So this shot that I've just taken is probably the first real woodland photography shot focusing on woodland, focusing on a tree specifically, that I've taken. I took my 10 stop off and the polarizer down in my pocket because I've noticed another little bit of stream down there that I might go to in a minute. And I've actually changed my lens to my zoom lens, my 70 to 300. And I'm shooting at about 150-ish. And there's this, I'll show you, it's this beautiful, I think it's a birch tree, tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. This beautiful birch tree which just stands out, and then there's one behind it and then another one behind that. So it's kind of like we three trees, a tail of three birches. I need some sort of good pun for that. However, it just pops, the white of the bark just pops out of the screen and it looks beautiful. I'm really quite happy with that. I'm going to take another one because the wind's just blowing the two behind it together slightly. And I know in Simon Baxter's videos he likes to think that the trees tell a story or something, and then he names them after that. I kind of feel like this is, especially at this point in my life where my eldest child, who's 4 now, is about to go to school, I kind of felt like the two in the background were me and my wife, and that was him in front growing up a little bit, which is probably a bit daft, but it's a nice thought. Really quite happy with that shot actually, and I think I'll return to this exact spot when the trees start to get more orange. As I said before, they're getting orange already. They're on the turn, but beautiful. Really quite happy. Here's the picture. Just spent about 10 minutes trying to find my cable release because I knew I'd used it to take a picture of that tree, and then I came down this bank and slipped, which you probably saw, and then I got to this other little brook, which I'm not going to bother taking a picture of now because it's not that good, and my cable release wasn't there. I found it after 10 minutes, so never give up guys. Right, I'm going to try and get some heather on the other side and then I'm going to go home. I've just taken a heather shot, not intimately in the heather, but using this fence to guide you up, and there's little patches of purple dotted along the fence line, which is quite nice. But that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the pictures and I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for liking, commenting and subscribing. Please continue to do so. I'll reply to all comments and I will see you next time.